Welcome back to another video, my friend. I'm Blake and you're you, and this is Golgari Snow Zombies in Explorer. So this deck all revolves around my strong desire to play this card, Draugr Necromancer. So it's a 4-mana 4/4 Snow Zombie Cleric. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, we exile it instead with an ice counter on it, and then as long as we control the Necromancer, we can play that card using any color of mana. So that's how we got started on this track. I really think the idea of killing an opponent's creature and the next turn casting that creature just sounds all kinds of fun. So that got me into the snow build here. We're going with Jorn, God of Winter, pairs nicely as the snow zombie, so we have a strong snow theme. So whenever Jorn attacks, we get to untap each other snow permanent we control. So that effectively gives all of our other snow creatures vigilance and also is crazy ramp. Now going down the list, just bouncing around here, Sculptor of Winter is also ramp as it untaps our snow lands. We have a lot of removal in 4 Blizzard Brawls, which is the snow sorcery that lets us fight. We have 3 Fatal Push, 3 Infernal Grasp, 1 Elspeth's Nightmare. We also are running at the top end 3 Vraska, because Vraska has the ability to let us draw cards or destroy other creatures. So very good. And then at the very top we have Garruk, which also can destroy creatures and draw cards. So all of that trying to pair with that Necromancer. We have a minor zombie theme as we're running 3 Grim Draugrs. It's just a 3/2 snow zombie that can gain menace, and then we're running 1 Tymaret Calls the Dead for that zombie combo. Let's see what else we have. 2 copies of Blood on the Snow, just a pretty nice board wipe in a snow deck. 1 Blessing of Frost as we round out the deck, and then also we have 1 copy of Graveyard Trespasser, just in case we run into those pesky graveyard decks. 4 lands and just a 2-color deck. I'm running 11 and 11 of my snow basics, and then just 2 Overgrown Tomb for just a slight touch of mana fixing. Now, this deck really wants to just do a lot of killing. It's really a bit of a control deck, so you do a lot of kill spells trying to set up that Necromancer, and then you're also beating down with pretty good ramp and some funny snow shenanigans. So the deck is pretty good. Let's jump into a few games so you can see what it can do. Okay, so jumping into our first game here, we don't have any 2-drops, but I think, especially on the play, we can keep the 3-lander with the Graveyard Trespasser. Seeing 2 Blood in the Snows in the opening hand is not great, but potentially we'll see a scenario where we can kind of lag back our creatures and then do a big Blood on the Snow, but we'll see what happens here. We are going up against a red deck here, so that will be interesting to see. I do not see Foundry Street Denizen played often, so I'm not exactly sure if it's a budget version of Mono Red. Okay, seeing the Fanatical Firebrand, this is almost certainly Mono Red, so it will be good to see how this deck can fare against that. I think already next turn, slapping down a 3/3 should be pretty good. We are going to take some damage, but I think that's okay, and that we can stabilize here. Next turn, especially having access to this Blizzard Brawl, will be quite nice. We're going to get 1 free kill spell, but also maybe just slapping down the Necromancer might be the appropriate play as well. Graveyard Trespasser, a very fun card, tough to deal with. He will unfortunately get the draw off the Robber of the Rich, but that's okay. If we can survive to 6 mana, we're going to be doing real well. So him hitting a Vraska there is probably fine, considering he's only at 2 mana. And we get a free trade here. Not looking good for our opponent here, I don't think. Especially since he just throws in a free trade for here. I think just going with the Necromancer next turn is totally fine. Now he will have to discard a card, making this really like a 3-for-1. And so I'm kind of fine with this still. Yeah, so he traded 3 cards just to take this. That's totally fine with us. That's a great trade, setting us up for an absolute blowout in this match. Not a smart play against my opponent. Life gain will be nice, but I think for now, I just want to get the Necromancer started, and then we can start to put his little 1/1s back on the field if he swings into us. So that will be really funny and quite fun to see. Even a Lightning Bolt will not get the Necromancer here. Being a 4/4 is really good in my opinion. So let's go ahead and Brawl first. I think the bigger problem is probably the Firebrand. We saw his little shenanigans to tap stuff. I think either one is a fine target here. Oh, I didn't think about him sacking it, so that's unfortunate because it was a little silly, but he still dies with the Necromancer on the field. And now we just get a free 2-for-1, so really a lot of misplays by our opponent. Not really showing off the deck because these are some pretty bad plays. Oh, I guess that was fine. He did do it in response to my target. So he gets his minor bit of value, but we still get to resolve the spell, interestingly enough. Even though he got rid of the target, we get the indestructible for the turn. We don't have any sort of recursion, and this is just hilarious, getting to turn this into a lot of value. Sorry, my friend, you're just getting smoked by the Draugr Necromancer. Let's see if we can get a better game than that, and as a follow-up. Okay, getting into another game here. Once again, not seeing a 2-drop, but I think that's fine. Even on the draw, we have the Fatal Push in case they are playing something super aggressive. I think we can go ahead and keep this and put down Jorn turn 3, which will create some opportunities to double spell. Already considering, you know, turn 3 we go into Jorn. Turn 4, we're able to play the Glittering Frost and tap out, and then swing with Jorn and swing everything in. Hitting a Sculptor here, also quite good. We're seeing a lot of ramp in this hand, so that's going to be really fun. Potentially Rakdos mid-range of some kind here. And honestly, if he hits this with a Fatal Push or something, that would have been fine. Not essential to what we're trying to do here. So we are seeing Jund. Probably Jund Sacrifice. Definitely Jund Sacrifice. Now I'm just trying to decide how I turn on my Fatal Push. Let's go ahead and swing in, and if he lets me chump, he probably will not block because he's going to be afraid of shenanigans. That's fine. I don't really want to let that live, but we don't really have a way to very easily turn on our Fatal Push for it. So maybe as I'm playing through the deck, these should actually be traded out. Just because there isn't a lot of ways to sack things, and I think Fatal Push is a lot better when you sack things. So I might even toss this for something slightly different. And we are going to see the food deck. This deck's pretty cool. Yeah, I think this deck is pretty neat. He is looking for a way to sack that, I'm supposing. Now let's go ahead and... I've got 5 mana available for this turn. I think we're going to be able to play Garruk here in this end step. So we do this. This can go for 2. We swing in. Untap all of the stuff, which is awesome. Hopefully he'll trade here. Even if he trades there, that's also fine. And then what we can do, now we've got a real nice combo where we can create double green. And then we can untap this, and then we can create double black. So this is a really good combo. We get Garruk down. And he doesn't have a lot of sack outlets up yet, so I'm actually tempted to just 0 Garruk. That will give us 3 blockers to protect him. And I think without any specific outlets on the board, he can, of course, sack this with 1 shot. I think the 0 here is fine. I think we're in quite a powerful position here.
Scared of dogs, are you?
And then next turn, if we're lucky, he'll ping down one of these, and then we can just destroy the Mayhem Devil. Now that's going to get pretty nasty. Double Mayhem Devil is scary. And the Oven. This is going to get really good. Good for him. This is going to turn into a little combo. Getting to ping double right here. He can do a lot of fun stuff here. Perfect. We let both of these resolve. And then now that our Sculptor is gone, we hit one of them. So that's good. Getting him back down to 1 is still pretty good. He can do some more fun things with it before it goes away. So he's got a lot working for him here. He's actually, with that second Devil, is going to... The Devil plus the Oven is going to put him in a good spot. We're going to have to claw back into this one. I think him hitting the Wolves is really good for us, though. I think the correct play for him would have been to hit Garruk himself, because this potentially lets us get that emblem on him if he's not careful, which I'm very happy about. Okay, Fatal, that helps that resolved. Now, do we take +3/+3 and trample for free? Or do we get greedy and go 2 more Wolves? Because the Devil can just ping things. Let's see. If I do that, he can maybe kill him in response. I think I don't even give him a chance to respond, and I just get my emblem, which is absolutely insane. And then we just swing and go crazy. See if he wants to chump anything. And then let's go ahead and get rid of this Mayhem Devil, and now... Garruk is an awesome card. That is some straight power right there. I think we got this one. We'll see what he can pull out. The deck is actually pretty cool. I just really kind of threw it together. I would not say it's optimized by any means, and I think the deck has got some potential. I really do. I love the little snow bear in the back right of this art, if you can see it behind Jorn. A little cute guy. It's fun. So we can do a couple good things, but I mean, we've got +3/+3 trample on everything we play. It's just going to be really hard to deal with. And there we go. Let's get another one. That was a cool showing of the deck. Okay, jumping into another one here, we have Sculptor into Draugr, I think is quite nice. We saw in that last game exactly what the Sculptor can do, is quite a good card. Quite a good card in the deck. Also, just being a 2/2 for 2 makes it, you know, not a bad rate to start if it needs to get in there and chump block or something. We've already got the advantage as I had the mulligan. I actually think he's probably planning on a specific play, so let's just take this now. I think that's worth slowing them down on the mulligan. Going up against another Golgari deck. If we were to draw a Necromancer, we could actually play it next turn with the Sculptor, which is nice. That's fine. It wasn't really essential. We didn't have anything specific we were trying to do with it. These 1-for-1 trades are only good for us as we're up 2 cards since they mulliganed and we were on the draw. So we're really fine to take it slow and trade cards 1-for-1. No problem. We'll also probably get Blood on the Snow turned on by turn 6 because we've got, just need to draw 1 more land. Again, this card does get him a little bit of a 2-for-1. So that's going to help him try to get back in this game, especially since the Rider will trade for the Draugr. So he's back to -1. So he's trying to catch up here. But I think we're in a situation where we can just lag behind and let him play, hopefully 3 creatures, ideally. And then we blood on the snow and bring back something, and then we are in a huge position of advantage. Curious to see what he does here. Still not sure what he's playing other than Golgari. Other than just Golgari kill spells. But I guess that's kind of what we're playing too, so. He's not playing snow. Ooh, a shovel deck. I did see something about shovel the other day, and him playing 2 here. I think at that point we don't need to lag back behind anymore. We're just going to destroy all planeswalkers. We'll bring back my Draugr. I think just seeing those 2 is enough to hit. I could have waited for him one more turn to see him play the Rider. But Finn can get going pretty quickly. And I think it's okay to just take the basically 3 for 1 there. We'll go ahead and destroy this just because we're the only one with the creature. And then we go to town. I don't have anything else to do with my mana, so we're just going to pump this guy up as much as we can. There we go. Now this is a game of top decks. See who can come out ahead. Shovel poison counters is a pretty fun way to play the deck. Let's go ahead and use the Tymaret. This thing has lifelink, which is really obnoxious. We'll go ahead and get rid of this. Create a 2/2. I would actually love to take that trade. I doubt he's going to block because lifelink is too good. I think that's a mistake from him because he can start doing damage but basically neutral out any of my damage just by his lifelink. As a 5/3, he should have just let that go, in my opinion. But he's got that behind it, and maybe he knew that, so that's unfortunate. We hit our Garruk, which is sad. That could have been good. 4/4 flying, ward, discard a card. When it deals damage, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. This is a bruiser. Holy cow. Alright, well, we need to draw a kill spell, or we lose really fast against this thing. Oh my goodness.
Make this quick.
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, nice. Nicely done. He's in quite a good position here. We will at least get to scry next turn. So hopefully, I mean, I'd even play another Blood on the Snow here. Would be quite good.
Ugh, what a whiner.
Trespasser's not the worst thing. I will take a Necromancer. This just kills us really fast. I probably should have actually passed on the Necromancer. We just really sort of have to. Let's see, we can get rid of one thing. I guess that would be pretty bad if you brought it back. Really dealing damage here doesn't gain us that much. We'll just leave a blocker back just in case. But we pretty much we're only going to draw a Draugr next turn, so I don't think we can even win this. Because he swings in, we play Draugr. Yeah, he's got this one.
I leave dead bodies wherever I go, ready to join them.
Yeah, it takes a while to get enough footage. Just needed a drink. Okay, so checking out this opening hand, we once again have Winter into Draugr, and then following that up with a Vraska is pretty good, I think. We also find that Overgrown Tomb, just to fix us a touch. See the Spitter. Could be going up against a Cavalcade deck, or just some sort of mono-red aggro. Okay, probably more likely, instead of Cavalcade, a Spellslinger deck of some sort. Draugr is pretty good here because we can actually swing in and get past the electrostatic field. I could have used Sculptor to put out Vraska, but we really don't have anything I want to sacrifice at the moment. So I could even be convinced that this card could be cut. Now that's sad. That is a little sad, so we'll see what the play is here. If he plays another creature, I will consider just playing Blood on the Snow next turn. Of course he has Lava Coil. Keep him thinking. So this is probably just mono red removal, basically. We have 2 Vraskas. So our options are to play Tymaret, put out a 2/2, and then we'll eventually gain some life. Seems decent. Or we could play Vraska now and kill the field and put ourselves at 1. I think that's actually fine in this case, especially with a backup Vraska. We're just buying time. And forcing the Splitter to attack here buys us even more time. And then next turn we probably just Tymaret calls the dead. That's a pretty bad card for us to see.
Fire started? No? Too bad. Say hi to my... Go get him, buddy.
Gives him a lot of stuff to do here. He takes care of Vraska. That's fine.
Don't be surprised if we meet again.
Putting out our little 2/2 blocker will feel pretty good. This is not a great case for Vraska. Vraska might get cut from this deck. I'm probably going to keep working on the list because I do think we're going to leave Necromancer because I actually want to be able to bring it back with the Blood on the Snow. Probably just creates 2 more elementals. It's the only thing that makes sense. Unless they actually just want to kill here, which they might. Yep, that makes sense. I still think that's pretty good for us since this is sort of a free card since we get 2 of them. So I think we're in actually sort of a decent spot here. We also get to make that zombie and then we can use Vraska to sack it, which is actually probably going to be pretty good. Now we have an interesting choice though. I will probably prefer to revive the Necromancer. So, options are... I guess we get to swing in and get this no matter what. What? Oh, nope. It doesn't have haste. Oh, I'm so dumb. Alright, well let's see if the deck can survive my terrible, terrible misplays of clicking through. For some reason I thought I could swing this turn, and I just got ahead of myself. I probably would have just played Vraska and sacked it. Putting Vraska at 6 feels pretty tough. Now we don't have a target for Blizzard Brawl or for the Vraska, and we don't get any life gains, so that's pretty disappointing. Man, huge whiff there by me. Huge whiff.
Go get him, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah, this will be tough to come back from that huge of a misplay. I guess we do this. And then we can actually hit Chandra. Feels pretty good, I guess. Buying time. If we could get to 6 mana, I'd feel a lot better. We can get back that Necromancer. Oof. That is just a beatdown.
I've got other things to play.
That's probably the game.
Or is it getting a little warm in here?
GG, I'll say.
It's got out tonight out the new bits.
Okay, awkward hand. I think with no permanence we just have to mulligan. Isn't much better, but I think I'll keep this instead and toss one Fatal Push. We've got a Fatal Push and an Infernal Grasp in case they're going aggro. Seems to be nothing but mono red aggro on the ladder today. Oh, maybe it's not though. Mono red aggro would probably have a 1-drop. I guess not mono red aggro specifically, but I have been going up against a lot of red decks and having things like that happen a lot, it feels like. Love the art for this shock though, by the way. That will feel quite good to hit. I think I'm fine to just put this out and then push it next turn. I doubt he can get it all the way up this turn. That would take 3 cantrips. Oh my gosh, if he has 3 cantrips, I'll be so sad. Wow. No way. That is actually insane. Now what does he have to do with all that mana, though? I mean, hit me with 4. Make a treasure. Gosh. Are you serious? Guys, what in the world just happened? Holy cow. Well, luckily, we get to just do this. No chance of letting anything else like that happen again. Goodness. Luckily, that one's not going to put that much pressure on. But I'm already out of cards, and he's got stuff to do still. Holy cow. This is insane, guys. Oh my gosh. Of course he has another shock. Of course he does. And another play with fire. Why not? Yeah, keep that on top. Keep that spell on top. Blizzard Brawl is tough. This deck might need a few more permanents, or at least a few more creatures. Can make the argument for cutting Vraska, I think. We'll just hit this now, see if we can survive. I don't even know what to draw at this point. I guess a Necromancer would feel pretty good. Yeah, that's crazy. Too good. Okay, so looking at our options here, we can go turn 2 Winter, turn 3 Necromancer. Absolutely, that's the dream. Hello, Brennick, my friend. I don't know if I've ever seen this card. I did not play much when Ikoria came out. So I didn't love the whole companion thing, so I kind of stopped playing for a bit. So let's check out this card. Companion, each card is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast. That's cool. Each other creature you control that's cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets +1/+1 and vigilance. Not bad. It's cool. Interesting tribal deck. It's just really hard to make tribes work. I do think there is a small chance that dinosaurs is actually playable, though. So that's pretty cool. I have toyed around with it. I just don't have enough of the cards, and I'm a budget player, so I bet some of you guys know what that's like. So this is pretty cool. If he can stick around a turn, we can hit something with the Grasp. Even this we could bring back. It's pretty cool. It's a really cool card. That seems super good for a dinosaur deck. It ramps you so that you can go this on turn 2 into a turn 4 dinosaur, and then it pings something which comes in, which is usually good, and then this becomes a 4/3. Holy cow, this seems really, really good. Ooh, the Regisaur is also pretty nice. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, we're not going to take that. Now, the question is, what do we do? I think the play is to hit this with Grasp and then just play that as a chump blocker. I think we want him to keep the Regisaur for a turn. We'll allow these two to trade. This has a good block. We also have 5 mana if we need it. So we can also Draugr and Grasp. Let's... Oh, so we could also Draugr into this. This is free pings on his stuff, so I think turning this off turns off more things. So I think it's fine to do this. Okay, that's interesting. This hits the controller for anyone playing a spell. I think we just go kind of control-y here. I think we get to see true Golgari control actually go. Maybe you're supposed to play this deck as a true Golgari plus blue. I'm blanking on the name for that shard, but that also seems pretty decent. And get actual counter spells. Okay. I think that's fine. We're not casting these things from the libraries or from the graveyards. Only thing that affects is Blood on the Snow. Which, that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. This having Menace is obnoxious. I definitely can't take that. We just do that. Take 3. Will 5 mana, will 6 mana help me 6 mana? But if I don't have this, I don't get the discount anyway. I don't think at this point the Sculptor is essential. And I don't want to take all that ping damage. And then I think this actually puts us in a pretty good spot. Steal this. I think that feels pretty good. Getting a lot of card value out of the Necromancer. This card is so fun to play, guys. Oh, it's so cool. And, I mean, yeah, that's smart, but we still got a lot of value out of it, that's for sure. A lot of value out of it. And we're going to we're going to get to start slapping with this right now. I doubt he has any graveyard stuff, so let's go ahead and just toss the Trespasser. This gives us a good block against this because we can pump it up next turn. So we can stop the Ceratops, or he can chump or take 7. Brutal for him. Now the question is, I have to discard this anyway, so I guess I just play it, and I can even double block if I decide to do that, because we're going to have to discard it anyway. So it's sort of a net 0 to play this or discard it either way. Okay, I've seen this guy before. You're allowed to think, buddy. I mean, yeah. The play here is whether or not you swing in, whether or not give this trample, all those sorts of decisions. Now we've got a decision too. Next turn, if he doesn't block, he kind of has to block Register or take 10. Now it's my turn to think. I think I just take 5. Because if I wait a turn, I can turn this into a 4-2 and block that. Skip the trigger. We're just going to hold that in hand. And he can get through with 3. I think if... okay, this is tricky. This is actually a tricky position. Because I have to watch out for the trample damage. If I just put one thing in front of it, it's 3. But if I don't hold back 2 things... This is quite tricky. I'm actually sort of tempted to hold back the Regisaur. If I swing in with this, I can pump it up a few times. I can let this go. I can potentially let this go through for free. But then if he draws a land, he plays this and it becomes a 4. I actually think we have to wait a turn. It's an uncomfortable spot. Some tricky math here. And that's, I mean, probably just the L. That's too good. Too good. Unless I draw a kill spell right here. Which I could. Kill spell right here would feel pretty good. Discard the tomb, it's fine. I don't think that's going to be enough. I think you got me. Do some menace stuff just to see what happens. But, I mean, he's just got free blocks. Just really has free blocks. Yeah, good game. Alright, jumping into another game here. A little awkward with double green and no black. But I think these two can hold out and hold down the fort while we wait till we draw that black source. So I'm going to take a risk and keep this hand. Even though it's certainly not ideal. Not ideal at all. So at minimum we can play Jorn next turn, which still gets to be pretty good, but drawing a black source next turn would be the best. That would be the best thing to do. Black source next turn actually turns on Necromancer next turn, which I would love to do. See the Raptor. Okay, so we will play Jorn. Not sure how this is going to actually shake out. Okay. That's great. I feel like he's got Counterspell. So I just want to play something that he counters so I can get my Necromancer safely out. Okay, he's got that going on for him. Nothing to mill. Okay, we'll go ahead and just attack. I'll hold this back just in case he does have some sort of flashy thing. Okay. Oh, untap. Yeah, that was nice. We'll just go ahead and Fatal Push this. I'll save it. I'll save Jorn, and we'll pass on playing the Necromancer this turn. Yeah, that's all there is to do. Oh, and what a boring game. Alright, well, we're going to get one more in. That was a little weird. Okay, looking at another game. We're on the play. Just 2 lands in hand. But if we can get that third one going, Nightmare turn 3, I'm feeling risky. We've got the Fatal Push to stop any aggro shenanigans and slow stuff down. Seeing Gigantha makes is probably Jund to sacrifice, and we hit the third land, so that's excellent. Just for pacing, I'll probably Fatal Push just about anything he plays. Arboreal Grazer. I'm actually not going to hit that. Just kidding. Doesn't do anything now that it's already played. But, okay, could be 5-color deck of some kind that I'm not familiar with. This will certainly get interesting. I think this is better than destroying this non-creature, basically. But making them reveal their hand will be good. So I'm probably going to be tempted to play this next turn. Because this is certainly a Gates deck. And we want to get... Yeah, we want to kill the Ram really fast. 3-drop. So... that's tricky. I guess we'll do this now. Because I want to make him discard the Gate Colossus next turn. Oh, it's a non-creature card. Well, that's not very helpful. We can get this with our Fatal Push. We've just got to work to set it up a little bit. Or we can actually double Brawl. Might actually be okay here. Because they don't have a lot of creatures or things to do with. They got to get a little lucky. And there's the Gate Colossus, so that might just be the L. What's worse? That probably sees more for him. If I double Brawl, I can kill either of these, and this can be killed later with the Fatal Push. So let's try it. This will also become indestructible, so we'll get to crack back a little bit. Not sure why... Okay, I was going to say, I'm not sure why he gets priority here, because things are just acting funny. I'm not sure we could have pulled this one out, actually, anyway. Okay, come on now. Checking my internet, see what's going on. We're going to call that good.